The night janitor. George Michaels had been the night janitor at Alderwood High School for 10 years. He liked the job. The pay wasn't great, but it was quiet, predictable. No kids, no meetings. Just him, his mop, and the echo of empty hallways. He knew every creaky floorboard, every buzzing light. The school felt more like his than it did the students. But over the past few weeks, something had started to feel off. It began with small things. A classroom light left on after he was sure he turned it off. A cold draft in a windowless hallway. Once he found the girls' locker room door wide open. It was always locked after hours. He chalked it up to forgetfulness, faulty wiring, things old buildings do. Until the Thursday night when he heard footsteps. He had just finished buffing the gym floor when the sound came from the second floor. Slow, heavy steps echoing down the corridor. But the second floor was under renovation and sealed off. No one should have been up there. He stood still, mop in hand, straining his ears. The steps stopped. "Probably my damn imagination," he muttered, but the hairs on his neck stayed up. Later that night, as he made his way down the east hallway, the overhead lights began shutting off. Not all at once, but one by one, click, 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 until he was left standing in near darkness. Only the red glow of the emergency exit signs lit his way. Then he saw the door. Room 217. Open. That door had been padlocked for over a year. He hesitated, then approached, flashlight shaking in his hand. He pushed the door open slowly. The classroom was empty. Desks were stacked in the corner. Dust floated in the beam of his light. Then he saw it. On the chalkboard scrawled in thick white chalk were the words, "Help me." He blinked, looked again. The board was clean. He backed away and nearly jumped when the school's intercom buzzed to life, crackling with static. Then a voice, a soft, childlike whisper. "He's here again. In the halls." George's blood ran cold. He didn't sleep much that weekend. The following nights brought more disturbances. Chairs moved on their own. Lockers slammed open in unison. Shadows flitted past classroom windows. His reflection in the trophy case stared back with a delay, just a second too slow. Each night at exactly 3:17 a.m., the fire alarm blared. But when he checked the panel, there were no errors, no smoke, just noise. Then came the girl. He saw her in the gym one night, standing by the bleachers, pale, maybe 9 years old, wearing an outdated school uniform. Her hair was stringy, wet like she'd just come in from the rain, though the skies outside were clear. "You have to leave," she said, eyes wide, "before he finds you too." George stepped forward, but she pointed upward, toward the second floor. Room 217. The door was open again. This time the chalkboard had a new message. "I'm not the only one." In the corner of the room stood a man in a dark, scorched suit. His face was wrong, shifting, twitching, like it couldn't hold a shape. George tried to back away, but the door slammed shut behind him. The lights burst, one after another. A sound like nails dragging across a chalkboard filled the room. Then, nothing. George woke up the next morning in the nurse's office. The principal said he'd been found unconscious near the stairwell. Said there were no signs of forced entry, no disturbances, no fire alarms went off. George didn't argue. He just quit. He never went back. But sometimes people say they still hear footsteps in the halls of Alderwood late at night. And if you stand outside room 217 and listen closely, you might hear a whisper. "He's here again, in the halls."